Good afternoon, everybody. It is Wednesday, April 13th, 2022. You are watching Get the Health Out. My name is Michael Tharp. As always, I'm joined by extraordinary teacher, life-changing health coach, Candy Nielsen. Candy, how's it going this week?
It is fabulous. I'm telling you what, I'm ready for spring, getting ready for lots of new opportunities. So
Yesterday was beautiful.
it,
I was like, man, all right, I'm officially shaving my beard. The sun is out. Time to get a good tan going. And then Michigan, we're back to 40 degrees and drizzle all day.
that's right. You don't want to get your hopes up. It's learning to be resilient. That's what living in Michigan is, right?
Exactly. It challenges our mindset every day. Well, today, guys, we were going to bring on a good friend, Tera, and look at her health transformation, but we ran into some technical difficulties. So we're going to have to save it and have her jump on next week. So real quick, I'm going to talk a little bit about some mindset stuff, but with Easter coming up and, whether it's you have a big family event you have to go to, or maybe you're going on vacation, like I'm going to Vegas in a few weeks here. So Candy's going to kind of talk about how to prepare and how to kind of still win or, have success in your health journey when there's a big celebration or holiday coming up. So Candy, as you're coaching people on their health transformations, what are some key points you always bring up when it comes to something like Easter coming up that, they might, have issues over keeping with their regular system?
Yeah. Human nature is to gather around food, right? For every celebration. It doesn't matter
Yep.
if it's a birthday party or what it is. So, um, this is a great time to just jump in and talk about how do you uh, plan for unplanned things. So, as we're facing Easter, most of us will gather as we're and let's just face it, we're coming up on spring and summer. So it is the season of gathering. Mike, you just talked about the weather. So we'll find any excuse to just gather, right? And when people gather, it's typically about food. So going into the holiday weekend, or in your case, Mike, when you're going to go to Vegas, I'm not sure this is on a list of what to do in Vegas, but I think number one, planning ahead is going to be pretty vital. So knowing going into those events where we're going to gather around food and have to make choices, I think it's important to just be aware of it to start with and start thinking about what am I going to bring to the table? Literally, what am I going to bring to the table? So whether you're on a health plan or not, you may or may not have some goals, but what are you going to bring to the table for everybody else? So maybe plan your dish, um, whatever you're bringing. Plan the menu if you're in charge per se. If it were me, I absolutely would plan around bringing something that kept me on plan for sure. And I think when you consider planning ahead like that, I think you also want to take into consideration what's your biggest temptation that you're going to face. For me, it's probably going to be the pie.
Right.
So I'm going to go into that knowing that when I bring something to the table, I'm going to bring something that addresses that sweet tooth I have, but in a healthy way.
Yeah, I can see that planning ahead. So like if you're vegan or you
Yes.
want a certain caloric intake or whatever, bring something like that. And then, like you said, if dessert is an issue for you, maybe bring some sort of dessert that is, no sugar or more fruit based or whatever it is that you're able to consume. Bring something like that so that when it is that time to eat, whatever it is, you have options that fit with, your health plan that you're on right now.
I really like that. Options that you don't have to explain, right? No one's going to ask you a lot of questions about those. So that
Right.
kind of that's like number two, stop the regrets before they even start, right? Um, get ahead of that. Keep it simple. That's my advice going into the holiday. So you're going to plan ahead, and stop those regrets, but just keeping your schedule, your mindset. if you're going into that holiday knowing that food is going to be a barrier for you, keep it as simple as you can. Keep your hands busy, keep yourself busy. You know, a lot of times at those gatherings, we're sitting and talking, and what happens? We're sitting at a table and we're talking in front of our biggest temptations. Maybe, keeping it simple, not sitting at the table would be a good strategy.
I've always found it interesting as I've done in the past intermittent fasting. And honestly, the only reason I'll end up breaking that is because of some sort of family meal.
Yeah.
So it's interesting you said at the beginning is how all of our celebrations or whatnot have to do with food
Yeah.
and meals. And I've kind of in the past, been of like, I think we're told to eat too much, kind of in our society and culture. And so, that just rings true to me that it is difficult to kind of stay on your diet when you're supposed to have this big celebration all the time for whatever it is. The worst, of course, is being a teacher and it's somebody's birthday every other day and you're trying to not eat crap, but then there's like free donuts and cake and ice cream in the teacher's lounge every single day.
Everywhere. So, I might push on that, keep it simple, before I talk about recruiting some support. Keep it simple might involve, as I just said, not sitting at the table, but push yourself to do something a little bit outside of the box. Don't focus on what it is you're going to consume. Maybe focus on the giving that you're going to do. What are the conversations that you're going to start? So when you start planning ahead, you're not only planning for the food that you're going to bring to the table, but plan what it is you're going to do with your activity that day. Not what you're going to consume, but what you're going to give. So I think if you can go in maybe with just that mindset plan, that's important. And I think you can do that when one of my other tips is recruit support. Inevitably, if you're going into a holiday and there's a gathering, you've got a teammate there somewhere. You have someone, a family member, a friend, that you can recruit to say, hey, look, this is where I'm at. Join me, help me. I've even had, some clients say to me, smack that out of my hand. I don't know if I would go that far. But it depends on what you do inside your family gathering, but, just recruit some support from the people around you. That can really be a game changer.
And it might even, from what you're saying there, I just thought of, maybe it is reaching out to a couple key people, are going to be at this meal and just letting them know of like, hey, I'm really trying to change my life. Just to let you know, I maybe I won't even be eating or I'll be eating the food that I bring. I just wanted, to be aware and I would appreciate your support, in my health transformation. So I think that's a great idea of, because, there's always those people who are going to be like, what's wrong? You need to eat. I made this. I'm going to feel bad if you don't eat it, that type of thing. So kind of getting that off the table so you don't have like any anxiety or stress over what's going to actually happen at the meal. You've already taken care of it.
I love that. Recruit somebody to be a part of your success, not a part of the reason why you fell off track. Bring them in. Inevitably, when you are trying to change your health, that you're going to transform yourself in more ways than one. And why not bring people along with you when you're doing it? So that's a great idea. Write down your goals before you go. I know, what we say, what we think, what we do become our actions, so write things down. Think about it ahead of time. What are your goals? How are you going to stop, challenge, and choose when you get put into those situations? If it's like the grocery list that you leave on the kitchen counter and then you go to the store, but you've written it down. So where is it? It's right here. Just take that action of writing those goals down. It can help you stress less.
So this is a perfect segue into kind of what I wanted to talk today. I was doing some more research on mindset and manifestation, and I'm looking at creating more videos on this because I come from a more traditional Christian background, and for various reasons, a lot of people in more fundamental Christianity take issue with manifestation. They think it's some sort of evil black magic thing when it's not really at all. So let me just give a quick definition here and then kind of give you guys a technique to use that a lot of people don't think about. So manifesting is simply training your mind, your body, and your spirit to align with what you want to achieve in life.
Yeah.
So mind, body, spirit, right? We have to take all those things into account no matter what we do. And so what a lot of people do is they want to just dream of the finish line. And that's all that they think about. So if I want to be a millionaire, I just think about being a millionaire. But the key word I use there is being. You are wanting to get somewhere. And when you say you want something, so for example, since we're doing more with health here, let's say I weigh 300 pounds and I want to be 200 pounds. And if that's all I think about all the time, I'm constantly saying, I want to be thin. I want to be healthy. And what I'm doing with that is I'm putting out a negative vibe into the universe saying, I don't have that. I'm living in scarcity. So what you want to do is already know and believe that I'm already 200 pounds. I already feel that good. And so it's going to start from the inside, from me feeling that I am 200 pounds now, or whatever, dress size or whatever you're shooting for there. And then what you want to do, and this comes in with what you were saying, you don't want to visualize crossing the finish line or visualize being 200 pounds. You want to visualize the steps that it's going to take to get there. So if you do have something like Easter coming up, visualize yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Turning down food or eating the correct food.
Yes.
Or even maybe that aunt that always complains about stuff. Like when she says something, visualize yourself, have a funny comment already, whatever it is that's going to distract and change the topic. And so that's what you're visualizing. You're visualizing, if you are doing exercise, you're visualizing yourself working out every day or going running, or someone offering you cake or cookies at work because it's someone's birthday and you telling them, no, I'm really focused on transforming my health right now. So those are just kind of some of the simple tricks that I've learned to help when it comes to manifestation and mindset. Anything you want to add with that as to how it fits in with kind of what you do with coaching when it comes to people having these health transformations?
Absolutely. It was my last key point and it fits perfectly. And I know that we're just shooting from the hip today. So, sometimes you don't plan the truth. It just is what it is. Right?
We just mesh. It just happens.
But I absolutely want to say you take it right back to the basics, right? It's exactly what you said. It's visualizing, planning the action steps that you're going to take, and already knowing that you are that, putting that just that mindset right back to basics. You know what you need to do. Take the plan to get there. Visualize yourself getting there, and don't get distracted by things that appear outside of that goal.
And kind of to summarize it, feel in your body what it's like to do the work. That's what you want to visualize and really, manifest or create in your mind of like, I know I'm already there. What's the work? And visualize yourself doing the work that's going to get you there, or that got you there, you should say, not get you there, that got me there. Because especially when you get in a program like what Candy coaches, and you've seen dozens of other people have the success, you have to get it in your mind that if I'm following this, I'm already there. It's already done. Visualize yourself putting in, whether it's denying yourself, following the plan, meeting with your health coach, whatever it is, and it's going to happen.
Absolutely. Feed the feeling that you want, not the emotions that you have right now. And that's a big deal.
So I think anything else you wanted to say today? I was excited to bring Tera on. Should we show them one picture, a preview?
Let's talk about that, because if you want to talk about somebody that's manifested their reality, I'm very excited to bring my friend on and talk about that transformation. And I say it all the time, but that picture tells a big story, a really big story. And this is someone who absolutely went into family events and holidays with that manifestation you're talking about. being prepared and recruiting a community like a health coach to get there.
And so I'm excited to bring Tera on next week. Just a complete transformation. Obviously, you can see of her body, her mind, as
Look at
well as
that.
her wealth.
Yeah,
So
look at that
really,
personality right there.
right. So hopefully we'll get all of the technical difficulties fixed next week, and we'll be able to have Tera on and hear her story. Any last words, Candace?
Survive the weather no matter where you are. And if you're in the sunblock it up for me. But as always, you know what to do to stay healthy. And if you don't, you know who to get a hold of. Mike and I are always here. I know that he always throws the number up there, but you can always text health to that number at the screen there, and we're here to help. So no matter where you find yourself at the beginning or end of a holiday, we're here.
Yep, as always, that number is down below in the YouTube or Facebook video, wherever you're watching this. Everyone have an amazing Good Friday and have a happy Easter with your family and worshiping however you do. We will be back next week, hopefully with Tera, and we'll get to hear her health transformation story. Other than that, we'll see you guys next week. Everyone have a great night.